Hello everyone, hey love lovers. So I have announcements to make, but then I'm going to leave them for the end of the video so that those who really want to hear, then they can go to the end of the video, because I just want to focus on this certain April transit, right? Because it's making me excited. I am so happy and about this transit, and I'm already feeling it, and I hope you are too. And everything that has been expected to happen is already giving the first results, because Saturn is so close, like very close, to the point that I just want you to hear the sound of Saturn as it's about to enter into Pisces. Let's just listen for a second. And that's the emission sound of Saturn, taken by NASA, right? So thanks to the NASA organization for keeping us, with these things and data, right? But as we look at, the skies, because I just want us to be as practical as possible, because we're talking about Saturn and we're talking about Pisces there, and ending discovery, right? So we can see all these planets clustered currently in Pisces. Remember, there's also a Rahu here, but we can't see it with the naked eye because it's a mathematical calculated point, right? So we can see the other ones. We can see obviously Sun is here. We see Mercury, which is currently going retrograde, by the way. You see, I'm stuttering because I'm talking about Mercury going retrograde. And there's obviously Venus, also retrograde right now. We do have, of course, the incoming Saturn, which is going to be joined on the 29th, which will be falling on Saturday. Now, I am in France, and in France it's going to be around 5 o'clock in the afternoon when Saturn enters the sign of Pisces, and it is going to be on Saturday. I must repeat this part because it's giving a powerful start to this transit. Why? Because Saturn rules the day Saturday, and out of all the days, it chose its own day, Saturday, to enter into the sign of finalization, the sign of ending cycles, the sign of preparation, the sign of dreams. And now, because this is a sign of dreams, Saturn is coming to make dreams come true. I would like you to take this message in and take it seriously, because Saturn is coming to make dreams, Pisces, come true. Certain practicality, reality. So that means then, whatever dream you've been having all this time, whatever dream you've been working towards all this time, whether relationship or in your individual personal life, this is the time to make it a reality. This is the time to make it a practical outcome, that dream of yours. because Saturn is coming in to say it is no longer time to dream. Even if you are sleeping and resting, know that you are working towards making those dreams come true. Those dreams become a reality. So this is the message of positivity that you're going to hold throughout the month of April, because then you're going to have something to work towards, right? So as you can see, Saturn is so close, very close. Is at now in the final stages of Aquarius, right? I am using an app right now because I don't have time anymore to go out, in the open to look at, the sky using the telescope. So I do use an app which you can also download for yourself to see the real transit and the real signs of where planets are transiting, right? I do know and understand that in the tropical point, they are using a different calculation, and Saturn will be entering in Aries, right? It really works well from the energy point of view, because it's a subjective point of view. However, if you want like a realistic, as in physical sort of speaking, if you want a physical realistic points and positions of these planets, download any app, or you can go onto the NASA website or any similar website and check the planets, and you will see all these clustered planets in Pisces right now, and Saturn is going to join them very soon, which is very exciting, very, very exciting, particularly for certain signs such as Gemini, such as Libra, in terms of obviously individual advancement, all right? However, caution for the Libra, because any divorces that are started when Saturn is in Pisces, they're going to last a long time. They're going to, drag a long time, and at some point, after April, and then you could find that there are complications even in that process because of the Ketu aspect that will be given at the time. But for April, I am expecting, the engagements to continue. I am expecting marriages to continue, because remember, even though the sign of Pisces is a sign of ending of cycles, it is also ending cycles of loneliness, cycles of being alone, being isolated, because Saturn here is going to come and put a halt and put a stop in the themes of the Pisces zone. Pisces is about isolation. Saturn might say, you know what, instead of you feeling isolated, I'm ending it now, right? You have felt it, but it's going to obviously depend on the signs, because remember, Pisces is a double sword energy. It has two sides. Therefore, for some people, their other side of Pisces, which is the spirituality, the letting go, the isolation to discover yourself, is going to be active. Whereas with some people, the materialistic side of Pisces is going to be activated, because remember, Saturn is a materialistic planet. Saturn is a materialistic planet because it rules the 10th house of careers, of your profession, of your public status, where you go to work to the office to make what? To make money, right? it also rules the 11th house of gains and salaries and, network circles and the people that help you build up your status. All of these things are materialistic. So Saturn here is going to be enforced to also, make those materialistic dreams come true, particularly in this month of April, because it's going to be with a Rahu, Venus, Mercury, all together here. Again, there is Neptune here, which is very important because Neptune in the 12th house or in Pisces is feeling at home here, and Neptune and Saturn are enemic to each other. They don't gel well. So it means that with those dreams coming true or becoming a reality, there could be some confusions, there could be some delays, there could be some changing of minds. You accept this and then you change your mind, you accept that and then you change your mind. You want to divorce, you don't want to divorce, you want a relationship, you don't want a relationship. So there is that theme of confusion, but Saturn has the strength to push through because it is in a neutral position here. It is not inhibited by the house itself from working its job, right? On Saturday, on the 29th, Moon is going to join as well. As we can see, Moon is also in Aquarius, also preparing to come out of Aquarius. It's going to join this Pisces energy, and you're going to have 8 planets here because we're going to have Sun. Sun is going to be around 14 degrees at this time. We're going to have a Moon, right? We're also going to have Mercury, which is retrograde right now. I would say around 8 degrees probably. And then on the 29th, it's going to be around 6 degrees, going retrograde. And then, if I'm not mistaken, and then Venus on the day is going to be around 5 degrees, right? And then Saturn is going to enter, obviously, at 0 degrees. And we're going to have a Rahu going retrograde as always at 2 degrees. And we're going to have Neptune very strong at 5 degrees, and we're going to have Chiron at 28 degrees. Now Chiron is about to leave the sign of Pisces, meaning that all the wounds that need to be healed, they need to be healed now in April. All the job, it needs to be done now. You need to heal the wounds now, because Chiron then will move out in May into Aries sign, right? But on this day, we're going to definitely have 8 planets, right? And of course, as the month goes by, things are going to change, things are going to shift, because we're going to have Mercury moving forward on the 8th of April, and that means on the 7th it's going to go stationary, right? And we're going to have Venus also moving forward on the 12th of April, right? I mean on the 13th, because it's going stationary on the 12th of and it's going stationary at 0 degrees, by the way, right? And of course we're going to have Saturn just gotten in. Another important movement that is worth mentioning for the month of April, by the way, is that Uranus just moved into Taurus sign from the 19th of March. So now Uranus has joined Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, making us having 3 critical signs here. We have the Taurus sign because there's the Jupiter and the Uranus. We have the Virgo sign because it's hosting Ketu right now, and we have of course the cluster, the famous cluster in Pisces, right? So a lot of movement in these houses, affecting the ascendants as well of, the people hosting these planets on their bodies, right? We will be having Mars also shifting, signs on the 2nd of April, finally into Cancer, right? Thank God, because the communication part, has been cut. So we are so happy. Mars is going to be joining Cancer, and it's going to be in a good position in Cancer, because this is a Cancer sign owned by Moon. Mars enjoys Moon, right? So of course now all the Cancer ascendants are going to be protected. They're going to feel the action, and they're going to feel the need to make things happen because of that Mars energy, right? But you must remember that their 9th house and their 3rd house are being affected right now, with these things. But the 9th house and the 9th house with all these things happening is quite good, because it's challenging the belief systems, teaching, learning, all of these things, right? And of course, for some people, maybe they have changed some of their jobs, or have let go some of their entrepreneurial endeavors, right, because of the Ketu. But with Mars coming in, they could feel the energy again to move forward, right? So that is the summary of the movements of the planet as the Saturn comes in, right, in the sign. I'm excited, highly excited for this Saturn transit. It's like, one of those things we've been waiting for as Geminis, right? Now, of course, I've already covered a whole lot of stuff in my previous videos, but now we're just focusing solely on the April month, because this is when the most action happens. This is when the car is starting, and when a car is starting, there's a lot of stuff happening, with the wires, with the engine, with everything connecting together so that it can push the car forward. So that process of starting, even in project management, for those who have done project management, that is the critical point, the starting of a project. If you fail this critical point of the start of a project, your whole project will fail dismally. So that means then everyone needs to make sure that the month of April is nicely started. You push your project, you start your project in a good form, so that you make sure that for the whole 2.5 years, you are covered, because you have fixed the foundation, prepared the foundation, and now the house that you're building is going to be a reality, a practical reality, but also a solid, outcome. That's what you're looking for. So if you can, manage to grasp and form yourself around this April month and the movement, then you're definitely going to be prepared to continue hosting this Saturn in your 12th house, wherever it lands, and of course in your composite chart as a couple, wherever it's landing. Now we must remember that for the month of April, there certain nakshatras are going to be affected, right? So there's constellations that are going to be affected here, and transformation basically is what's needed for this month of April. Looking at it from a certain point of view, transformation, because there's going to be a lot of endings, as I said, a lot of ending cycle, whether in your individual life, relationships are ending, and loneliness is also ending. Maybe you're starting a new relationship. There's going to be rebirth of even the belief system of what we believe in, right? Because these degrees here, they're all about duality, right? As I said at the beginning of the video, that the Pisces sign is a dual sign. It's about spirituality and material gains as well. So do not feel, embarrassed by chasing your materialistic your materialistic goals, because this is also part of it. Certain likes this, certain supports this, but then for some people, their endings, in their cycles is going to ask them to continue looking, towards the spiritual life, more of getting to know the higher beings. All right, so whichever way you're taking between the material or the spiritual, just know that it is the planet leading you towards that, right? But what's required is that you transform. You must transform, because these degrees are about fire and destruction. That means that burn up everything that is no longer needed, and destroy whatever is no longer needed, right? And then you become this new person with new life, with new goals, with new visions, that are now practical and can be pushed to realize greater material outcomes as well, right? I have already mentioned that is about storms and all of these things, right? But it's going to be critical. It's going to be intense. This is an intense step. Now, in project management, right, because at some stage in my life I was a project manager, but in project management, we have 5 steps. We have the initiation step, we have the planning, we have the execution, monitoring and controlling, and closure. As most of you will know, because I do know that most of you are running your own projects. I do know that you are in high positions. I do know that you are in high places, most of my clients. So you do know, that initiation step and the planning step. So the first 2 are critical in project. If you don't initiate your project properly, aligning your resources with the right equipment and tools, and all of these things. Timeline. How's your timeline? Have you done a timeline for you, for your relationship, for your life, according to this transit? Do you have that timeline? So if you miss all of these steps, then by the time you get to the execution, monitoring and controlling, you could be controlling and executing disaster, which you don't need. Plan, initiate properly, follow everything. And of course, from an astrological point of view, we're talking about, aligning yourself with the planets, aligning your life with the planets. Do not act against, do not resist. Do you know why Saturn is assumed as enemic to some signs? Do you know why? It's not because it doesn't like them. It's not because it doesn't like Aries. It's not because it doesn't like Leo. It's not because it doesn't like Scorpio and all of the signs, right? It is simply because it has a certain structure. And these signs, they require Saturn to change the structure that it has, and Saturn also requires these signs to change their own structures to accommodate it. This is where, the battle starts. So if it's happening, obviously, to you as a person, as a human being, you cannot control. If you're an Aries ascendant, if you are a Cancer ascendant, Leo ascendant, Scorpio ascendant, you guys, you cannot control. You are human. You cannot control the outcome of the planet. Yes, your ascendants can be anemic, so to speak, to Saturn, but in reality, you're not, because you're just human. It is only the actions that are not aligning with the structure of Saturn, and Saturn will not change. Will not change its plans and its structures to accommodate you. Unfortunately, because of the planet, it moves its own way without control. We don't control it. But to make things easier for us humans, it is then to align with the planets, to change our own behaviors, to limit, our impulsiveness, to limit our greed and all of these things, so that we can align with the structure that is set upon us by Saturn, because we cannot change it. So the more we resist and we push our own stubbornness forward, this is when we say, oh my gosh, Saturn is so harsh to me, Saturn is difficult to me. But if we just change and we just let go what we need to let go, calm down, plan, take time, because Saturn is about time. Saturn represents time. Literally, Saturn is time. So if we, take a breather, relax, go to bed, listen to your visions, your dreams, then wake up and plan and and execute those visions, then you are working with Saturn, and therefore you will not feel any of these hassles that people usually fear when it comes to Saturn, right? But because also Saturn represents rebellion, because remember, it co-rules the 11th house of Aquarius, and Aquarius is about rebelling against the norm, right? And Saturn is allowing that rebelliousness, through Rahu, because it's friends with Rahu. So it gets to let go and rebel, because in order to form a society that is fair and just, because remember, Saturn is about fairness and justice. So in order to get a society that is fair and just, there are people who need to rebel. It is a must. There are people who need to stand up and say, no, this is not working out. So if it's your relationship, you stand up and you say, no, this is not working out. I feel devalued in this relationship. Therefore, I am ending this cycle of abuse or gaslighting or mistrust, infidelity. I am ending it, because this is the time to end cycles, right? Or you can rebel from being expected to be in a relation, to be single, right? Because maybe they say, oh no, we as the culture, we have to be single until a certain age. So you can rebel and say, no, I'm ending this cycle of being single. I want to be in a relationship. I want to get married. I feel ready to do these things, and all these obligations are weighing me down. Therefore, I am rebelling. I am being eccentric, taking the Aquarius form of Saturn into their Pisces sign, and it is agreeing and according. But for this part, you need to communicate. You will have to communicate with your words. You will have to speak your decision when you do this part, when you rebel from the Aquarius point of view of Saturn, right? And this house is also about, sexual endeavors, because this is the bedroom house, right? Therefore, as in the bedroom house, where also self-undoing is expected, right? Saturn is going to come here and put a halt, into these sexual endeavors, right? That maybe have been uncontrolled or have been let loose. And these are the things that the bondage of Saturn would place into a halt, because as long as it's not promoting a relationship that is fair and just, Saturn is going to stop it. Saturn is going to stop it. And a lot of people are going to be exposed right until the 13th of April. We're going to get a lot of stories of people being exposed for being perverts. These people are going to be exposed because there's sun there, and this sign, these degrees are really about, also sexual perversion, which Saturn is coming in to put a stop to it. If it's a sexual act that you are doing and it's not promoting a relationship or a balance in a relationship, Saturn is coming to stop it now. Saturn is coming to stop it now, right? So we're going to have all of these themes happening in this sign. And remember, Mercury is here, right? Mercury is the messenger, meaning that everything that is done in this house, which is a house of secrets, things that have been done in the back ground, people hiding things, they're going to be spoken out, they're going to be revealed, because the messenger Mercury is going to reveal them. Right now, Mercury is retrograde because it's gathering all of the information that is necessary for the exposure of all of these secrets that have been done by people in the background or behind other people. If there has been a sabotage, against someone, Mercury is collecting all of their data right now in this retrogression, and then when it goes straight forward, it's going to expose everything. Every secret is coming out. Every single secret is coming out, because Saturn is going to want balance in this house. Saturn is going to want justice in this house. So if you have been playing dirty, being an enemy, maybe to your spouse or to your friends or to other people that you are competing against, you're going to be exposed. Saturn is going to require justice, and you're going to have to answer for that, right? Venus also is here. Venus is going to make everything be diplomatic, be affectionate. So even in that exposure of secrets, there's still going to be love expressed. So it's going to be spoken in a way that is healing for everyone, the victim and the perpetrator, because Saturn is about justice. So the victim and the perpetrator, they're going to feel, valued as human beings, right? Saturn is not about, judging unfairly. It will judge the way it's supposed to judge, without favor at all. It doesn't favor you, it doesn't favor me, it doesn't favor your spouse, it doesn't favor your boss, it doesn't favor anyone. It favors the truth and fairness and justice, right? So now let's just make a summary, quick summary regarding all the ascendants, right? So for the Aries sign, your 12th house, 2nd house, and 6th house are going to be the highlights of April, the month of April, right? So definitely your secrets are coming out. If you have been infidel, if you have been cheating, against your spouse or your friends, that is going to come out. That is going to be exposed in this month, okay? There's nowhere to hide. And if you need healing, and healing either relationships or healing yourself in private, this is the time to do that, because Sun is a healer, Mercury is a healer, Saturn is all about balancing energies, right? And you have Chiron here, which is also a healer, right? So that is also the time for you to get healed. And it also means that you will continue to have all of these things, monies coming in, because Jupiter is still in your 2nd house. However, now that Uranus is in your 2nd house, has joined, it means that there will be instability or disruptions or erratic behavior regarding your speech, regarding your family relationships, and also regarding your monies, right? So of course, Ketu has been giving you advices, eccentric advices regarding your conflicts, in your relationship, your health, or even conflicts, they just disappear, right? So you've been protected in that way, because Ketu will separate you from enemies and your conflict, and it's going to continue to do that, right, for the month of April, right? Now for the Taurus ascendant, your ascendant is affected here. Your 5th house is affected, and your 11th house are affected mostly here, right? Because your ascendant is hosting Jupiter, right? You have been feeling a bit of pressure, to do the right thing, to be correct, to be, the right person in your relationship or in your society, because Jupiter is requiring you to mature, to think higher, to be wise, right, regarding the decisions that you've been taking, and regarding your wealth, your money, your speech. And now that Uranus has just entered, it's going to change a bit. Things are going to be a bit erratic, even if you have been consistently, trying to be higher, the higher person, the bigger person. Sometimes you may lose your cool because of the Uranus. So that means Uranus is asking you to do things differently, to think of other ways to, do things differently, or represent yourself differently, present yourself differently. Then you align yourself, right? Of course, your 5th house has been facing Ketu, changing relationships, moving from one relationship to another. Or if you are married, you could have been having, some scandals or some arguments that you don't even know where they're coming from, some separations as well because of Ketu, and coming back together because of Ketu. And it's going to, obviously continue, but it's almost finished, right? Because Ketu will be moving out very soon, next month. In the month of May, rather, right? And then obviously you are hosting all of this cluster in your 11th house. Saturn is coming in here. Saturn is very good, very happy. And Saturn supports Taurus. So for you, the gains are going to go up, but obviously gradually, because there's also the Neptune here, and you could also think you have, this much in terms of your friend circles, in terms of your gains, and then you find out that actually no, it's not this much, it's actually maybe 100 euros less or something like that. But your friends that you make now are going to last you for a long time. You're going to make good friends, quality friends that are going to be good for you, right? And even your relationships that you meet in April, in the month of April, yes, you could lose them, be confused about them, but at some point when Venus goes direct, then you could maybe decide that from your friend circles, actually there is somebody that you want to be serious with, right? When it comes to Gemini, so you have your 10th house, your 12th house, and your 4th house being affected mostly by this. So basically, Jupiter has been in your 12th house, expenses, more knowledge in terms of spirituality, doors opening, when it comes to your foreign contacts, you've been having, your public status, public image, affected by the retrogrades. But now Saturn is going to come and stabilize everything, right? Because Saturn is going to be coming into this original house that it owns, and all the relationships that you make with the public, or the way you interact with the public, is going to be from a point of authority now, right? Particularly when Jupiter moves into Gemini, your ascendant, in May, you're going to be the person of authority. You're going to ooze that image that you are the right person to talk to, you are the qualified person to talk to, right? And the people around you are obviously going to respect you. But now when it comes to your relationship, right, it means that with authority, you're going to get support. Why? Because Saturn likes Gemini, Saturn likes Mercury. So meaning that all the professional people are going to support you now, but the authority figures, they're going to support you. It's not going to be a straightforward support because of the Neptune that is covering this thing. So it means that you need to find a way to be clear in your mind, find some clarity so that you can gain and retain that support. You will gain it anyway, right? But because of the confusion, you might maybe not see that they're supporting you and think otherwise, whereas they are supporting you, or vice versa, right? And of course, relationships within the home, within the family, you need to you're going to have the certain 7th aspect coming in here, asking you to form partnerships within your household, be serious about your family, right? And of course, Ketu has been there, causing some disruption, some havoc. But with Saturn coming in now, Saturn is going to place that 7th aspect and form those bondage, in terms of partnerships within your family sphere, right? And Uranus has entered your 12th house, right, joining Jupiter there, making things even more erratic. All right, but Uranus is asking you here to have different forms of communicating with people in the foreign lands, different forms of connecting with people who are isolated, innovative. Be innovative now. Think beyond what you can see right now to connect, to make those connections, right? For the Cancer ascendant, so your 3rd house, 11th house, and the 9th house are going to be affected, right? You have been hosting Ketu, as I already explained, so I don't want to repeat that. And the 9th house part, I don't want to repeat that. However, with Saturn coming into your 9th house, it means that now you're going to have some difficulties, connecting to certain mentors, certain teachers. It's either you're going to rebel against them, because remember, as I said, Saturn is about rebellion as well. You're going to rebel, or you're going to challenge their teachings now. You're going to ask questions, hard questions, critical questions, right? Or they may withhold information from you at this point, unable to get, and you have to work hard to get it more than other people, right? And even with foreign travels, they can be, there could be a halt right now because of the relationship of Saturn and Cancer, right? But remember, as I said, you only need to align yourself. And of course, your 11th house has been with Jupiter, right? And at this time, Uranus has joined, meaning that now you need to start to think about innovative ways to connect with your friends, to connect with your community, to connect with your network circles. Also about obviously your finances, how to make more money. You need to think creatively, innovatively, be future oriented, right? Now when it comes to Leo, your second house, 10th house, and your 8th house are going to be affected, right? You've been having Jupiter in your 10th house, right? And Jupiter supports, Leo ascendants, even though obviously it's in a sign that is not comfortable, but it supports Leo ascendant. So giving a good support system in terms of conveniences, in terms of a comfort in life, or access to comfort, right? So you've been having those things, and obviously without you needed to work, so it was not like an easy road, right? However, now you're going to have Saturn coming into your 8th house. Here Saturn is going to need you to be serious about your shared resources now. So you could be required to start to think about how much money you can make, both of you and your partner, how much money is in your shared account, how much money is he bringing in, how much money are you bringing in, all of these things. And of course there could be some seriousness around the sexual life as well. For some people, depending on the degrees, the sex could be diminished, like decreased, right, because of other responsibilities. And for some people it could be quite traditional type of a sex at this time because of certain. So maybe if you were having wild sex, because the 8th house is about the wild sex, all of a sudden now that tones down because of the certain requiring the tradition. When it comes to this, problems with the in-laws are going to come through now. So it means that you need to think about this in a like you need to think about solutions right now in April, because problems with the in-laws may ensue at this time due to the relationship of Leo and Saturn, right? And of course you've been having Ketu in your second house, losing money, not knowing where your money is going, all of these things. Soon it will move out. So things will be changing very soon, right? So when it comes to Virgo, your ascendant, your 7th house, your 9th house are going to be affected right now. In April. So that means the relationships really become the key point for you, right? Yourself and the relationships around you, because the 7th house is about relationships. So basically you are required by Saturn to focus on relationships right now, to be serious about your relationships that you make right now. And many of the Virgos will be required to have commitment of some sort. Many Virgos will be required to get married, to get a fiance, engaged, and or to stay together. Something is going to require a contract, a business contract, but you're going to have a serious decision to make. Saturn will require that out of you. And of course there will be support given to you as a Virgo ascendant, because Saturn likes Mercury. And of course with Ketu about to move out into your 12th house and Rahu into your 6th house, you're going to have an advantage this time, right? So you get ready, right? Of course in your 9th house you've been having Jupiter there, making you want to explore knowledge, philosophy, beliefs, all of these things, foreign contacts. And with Uranus just entered now, you're going to need to add innovation into these things, how you learn, how you connect. Be innovative about it, be creative about it. Use the energy of Uranus to do this, right? So there could also be disruptions and cuts and rebellion because of the Uranus, but it's all part of it. You can control it, right? When it comes to Libra, as I said, divorce may be difficult to set out or to complete because your 6th house is affected, your 12th house is affected, and your 8th house is affected. So basically all the malefic houses, so to speak, or the difficult houses, so to speak, are affected for the Libra ascendant right now in April. Therefore, certain coming into your 6th house will help you, definitely, because certain like Libra will help you settle, your conflicts, your divorces, your, problems within your relationships or problems in life in general. However, it's going to take a long time because certain takes a long time. So if you're going to get the solution, yes, but it's going to take a long time. So you need to be patient, definitely. And again, this sign is about patience as well. So you need to be patient about these things and just do the work that you need to do, right? Even about your health, you need to work on it because certain here is going to require you to look after your health. Right now, this is a house of health, right? So have healthy relationships, bit conflicts and all of these things, but everything, dedicate time to it, right? And of course, your 8th house, you've been having Jupiter here, and now Jupiter is going to be joined by Uranus, meaning that you need to think, in an innovative way how to deal with your in-laws, how to talk to them, how to have those relationships, even in your bedroom, how to be innovative, how to change things around, and of course your 12th house, also another house of bedroom, has been affected by Ketu, meaning that with Jupiter and Ketu, there could have been like a lack of sex or problems around the sex life, right? But Jupiter is a benefic planet, even though it wants to, or it's not comfortable with Libra, it still gives that blessing. So now with Ketu going to come out of your 12th house, your sex life may be now healed or will be felt in a positive way, right? Now when it comes to the Scorpio, your 5th house, 11th house and 7th house are going to be affected. You will be having a lot of relationships houses being affected right now in April, right? So your intimacy is affected, your serious relationships are affected, your relationships with your friends and network circles are affected. So basically your whole April, it is to focus on your relationship, on being fair where you need to be fair, fixing the relationship that you need to fix. And now with Saturn coming into your 5th house, there could be a help in your dating life in terms of changing partners. Saturn is going to require you to choose one partner now and be serious with that partner, because with the Jupiter in the 7th house, it's giving you a yes to having even a marriage if you want this time. However, with Uranus that has just gotten in here, you're going to need to think out of the box. Like even maybe with the marriage that you take, it could maybe not be a normal marriage, like a traditional marriage. Maybe you could elope to another country and have your marriage, right? And of course you've been losing some friends because of Ketu, and of course now it's fine, those friends that have gone, they were meant to go, right? And with Ketu moving into Leo, your 10th house, now things will settle in terms of your friendship circles, right? And now when it comes to Sagittarius, your 4th house, 10th house and 6th house are going to be affected, right? So Saturn here is going to give you a responsibility regarding your family life, regarding your home life, right? And at the same time, in April, you could obviously be continuing to feel like you're distant from your profession or from your public status due to your home life focus, but it's even going to intensify now with Saturn here. You're going to be needed at home more, maybe to care for your family members or something, right? So that's going to be happening now. And with this Jupiter in your 6th house, right, you've been having a lot of opportunities when it comes to your work, but with Uranus coming in now, you're going to need to include innovative ideas. How do you work? Change how you work and include innovative ways. But it's also regarding the conflicts that you have. If you have been dealing with conflicts, right, not only now you're supposed to use your wisdom, but also be creative about it, how to deal with these conflicts, with the people that you love, and all of these things, right? And when it comes to the Capricorn, your 3rd house, 5th house, and 9th house are going to be affected. And your 5th house being affected, having Jupiter, it's been giving you a lot of pool to choose from when it comes to dating. Like, you could pick and choose whichever partner that you wanted to choose. And with Uranus coming in here, there could be some disruptions, or you could also be finding other means to be attractive to your people, or the people that you want to attract, or you could be attracting partners that are erratic, that partners that don't fall into your norm type of a partner, right? And of course, you're going to have a boost with Saturn in terms of your self-efforts and your communication here. You're going to be serious now. You're going to be practical in your communication and your relationship with your friends as well. So there's some seriousness that is coming out. Yes, you've had some problems with your authority figures, people that give you advices, but with Ketu going out very soon, that's going to be settled, right? So with Aquarius, your 2nd house, your 4th house, and your 8th house are going to be affected here. Now with Saturn coming into your 2nd house, this is a beautiful time for making lots of money for you, money that will last you a long time. And of course, it's not going to come in a boof way, but in April you have that chance to make a huge money, like in one go. Why? Because there's Venus here, there's a Rahu here, and with Saturn you could make that big amount of money in April before Rahu leaves. You have that chance to make it practical, and it's money that will last you a long time. However, with Saturn going to be here for a long time, it means that money will come in. You will have ways to make money at this time, and it will last you a long time, right? Because of the Saturn energy. However, you're going to be required, of course, to be serious about your words, what you say to people. You're going to be required to be fair, be just with your words, because Saturn is about that, and it's your ascendant lord on top of that. So your relationships, find words that will be fair and just when you speak. Okay, so of course, there could be some responsibility towards your family, because Saturn is your ascendant lord and going into your 2nd house, and it's going to require you to take care of a certain family member, or your family members. Do not tire. Just know that this is what you need to do, right? And of course, your 4th house is also going to be affected, continue to be affected in the month of April due to Jupiter giving you more strength to make big money, big achievements for your family, comfortable life for your family. But with Uranus coming in here, there could be some changes within the family structure. Maybe there's a new member that comes in, or there's a new member that leaves, So there's going to be some erratic behavior that is going to happen. So you just need to be creative and innovative about how you deal with it, right? And of course, your 8th house is affected. This is your shared resources, and maybe you have been losing, some sort of a connection to your partner here, or even your in-laws, and with Ketu about to move out, So you just wait it out, and then when Ketu moves out, everything may settle again, right? And then for the Pisces ascendant, your third house and your seventh house are going to be affected. These are houses of relationships. You need to focus on yourself. Saturn is going to come into your ascendant and require you to focus on you. Focus on your goals. Focus on how you appear to people. Focus on your health. Focus on your physical body. Be fair to you. Be just to you. And then with that seventh aspect, Saturn is going to ask you to form partnerships that are just and fair to your partner, right? And with Ketu in your seventh house, maybe you have been losing, a partners, or you have been seeking partners, all right? And Ketu is about to move out, and moving out of Ketu in the month of May is going to give you that permanence feeling in terms of relationships and commitments, whereby you finally feel like, I can make a commitment now. Somebody wants to make a commitment to me now, right? So that's going to be experienced. And of course, with Jupiter in your third house, you've been having a lot of communication, with friends, connections, and you've been working, also towards, improving your competence, your skill set, right? And with Uranus coming here, there could be some sort of, breakdown. But there's a breakdown that is requiring you to think out of the box in terms of these themes, your communication, friends, neighbors, and everything, right? But it continues to be good because this is your ascendant lord, Jupiter in the third house, right? And of course, we're going to experience all of these clusters in the month of April on your ascendant, meaning that your body could feel tired as well, quite a lot. You could feel like, out of energy due to the conjunction of Neptune and Saturn together. These are slow moving planets, and these are planets that are also with Chiron, the wounded healer. So be careful of your body, take care of your body, be just to your body, be healthy, be fair to yourself. When you're tired, go sleep. This is a house of sleep. Go sleep, take a nap. You deserve it, right? Now this is a part I just of our announcements. I just wanted to know, because I changed some of the settings with the videos that I had set for the premium subscribers who are subscribed on the website, because I wanted to make them available for their subscribers as well, like premium subscribers on YouTube. So I am hoping that I did not kick you guys out from access, but I have not received any email, saying, what, Mita, I can't access the videos. So I'm assuming that my settings worked out. So if it's a problem, if you can't access them, I will just double the videos, like make a separate video, which is the same, like 2 times, and then I put that one up for the website subscribers, because it's at 28 euros as a once off, as compared to the YouTube monthly subscription fees, right? But yeah, so that's it. And with the YouTube subscription fees, I do have 2 bundles. The other one is like 6 euros per month, and that gives access to the same stuff that the subscribers on the websites have. So the database, the research, the results, the tips, the tricks, and everything. And then the 60 euros is actually a consultation fee. So basically with the 60 euros, when people subscribe, they get a reading, and then they get every month, so a reading every month, a reading of their choice every month with transits as well for the month, like how the month is going to be for them personally. And yeah, but on YouTube, of course, there's no way to clarify it properly, so I just had the option to say discounted merchandise, but it's all about that. And thank you again for buying the book, my book, which I designed for you guys. Right, the Dragon Astro Yoga book is doing so well, and I am getting a lot of you guys coming back to have your charts broken down. And that's why I'm hardly making videos, because I am having that responsibility, which I am enjoying, right? And yeah, just the last announcement. There are people who have been contacting me for career advice in terms of astrology, and I have been rejecting many people because I feel like I don't have enough research when it comes to a career, although that I can do it, and I have done it before with some people in my study group, with the people that helped me with my research, like collecting data. So I have done it, but I just want to have more research done, and then when I'm ready I can open that option up for career, because I would like to be able to sleep at night. When I give you an advice, I need to be sure that my advice is accurate, so that I can sleep at night. So if I just give people advices for the sake of money, then to me that's useless, because then my conscience is heavy, I can't sleep, it's just too much of a burden, which I don't need in my life. Right, I like to make sure that when I give out an analysis, I give an analysis that I'm that I'm confident about, and that I'm able to check when it comes to backing up my results or my advice. All right, so I don't want to do things just for the dally of being popular, or of having people pay money. That's too much of a burden, literally it's a burden. And yeah, so there's that. And yeah, finally as I know that I actually this one, let me leave it until it's done, because some things you have to keep them in secret until they come into life. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll chat to you soon. A bit. Ciao.